if I went out into the street, as I often do, and I go, tell me everything about Avatar, they're just like,
they run away.
Yeah. Well, one, they run away. Two, they're just like, he's the windbender. And I'm like, no, it's a different one. Different
wrong one.
The other one. And then they're like, oh, yeah, the blue people. And that's it.
Yeah.
It's time to hack the movies. Today, we're talking about tapes with Tony and somebody else. And what's his face?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our last episode of the spooky season. I'm here with two equally as famous as me people. Hello, introduce yourselves.
I'm Doug Walker, also known as a nostalgia critic.
I'm Brad Jones. I'm the cinema snob, the nostalgia critic of porn.
Ooh. And I think me and you had a rivalry on Twitter for a bit, but for the purpose of this episode, we're best friends.
Made amends.
Just three cool, lovable guys. Everyone loves us, and we're here together.
To celebrate Lola Bunny.
Lola Bunny.
I'm only here for the Lola Bunny.
I am here for the shaving cream because I've actually got to go to the kind of shave this down a little bit.
Yeah, they thought that they were going to be in the Alien 3 review, so they shaved their heads for it. Unfortunately, we're not doing that today. But
I spent time in prison.
You told me years ago, man. Like, I'm still waiting.
Yes, so we are here to close out our Halloween spooky season. I hope you guys appreciate the decorations I have. I have Scarecrow Man. We have Mary Shelley's Frankenstein from the movie Frankenstein Unbound. Did you ever see that one?
No, honestly, Mac and Me, I think, is the scariest poster. That's literally looking at me the whole time.
I am here for the Smokey and the Bandit 3.
And
Smokey,
guys, look at that spooky bat I had over there.
Oh my god!
That's a great real.
It's like a man bat, a night that is dark.
Yes, I think it's a very scary bat. Anyway.
The bat! Oh man, give me a break.
We are here today to talk about something that's been a Halloween tradition for how many years now have they been doing this?
Oh Christ.
30.
Yeah, 30 plus years.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. For our younger fans, it's probably like
Family Guy Part 1.
Yeah. or
that's
it's like,
dated now, isn't it?
Or it's like, oh yeah, it's the one new episode my parents watch a year and then they never watch The Simpsons.
Yeah.
It has gotten a little better. It's gotten a little better recently.
You know what? A few years back, just for the hell of it, I was watching some new episodes. And it's not terrible. It's just not as rewatchable.
It's hit and miss. There's some that are still really painful, but some are actually like, okay, that's actually like good writing, good characters. Like, this is a good story. Yeah.
Like, I watched a handful of new epides. I like them. Couldn't tell you a thing about them.
That was my issue too. It was like, I'm not going to remember this the next day, but some of them are so, like, I watched the one that I did was where it was like Bart was Caligula. So of course I'm going to remember that. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that one will stick out in my memory.
So I mean, going back to the 90s, like The Simpsons were kind of like everything.
Yeah, totally.
As I say that, I have a fucking, hold on.
Do you have a Simpson something?
I have an Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah.
The Simpsons pop culture quiz. We don't have enough time to do that, but I have it here. Pee-wee versus the government. What the fuck was going on in 2004? I gotta read this issue now.
It's comfortably in your front pocket.
Better than Pee-wee versus the movie theater.
Yeah, so the Simpsons were like...
Spoiler, he lost. Sorry.
Yeah, the Simpsons were gigantic in the 90s. They kind of took the world by storm. I'm a little younger than you guys. How was it for you, the whole Simpsons phenomenon?
Oh my god, I had like...
I can't remember a time before the Simpsons. That's how long they've been.
There was a lot of talk because it was like the first animated family that was like the kids swore and like the father like would choke the kids. George Bush like declared war on them and stuff like that. So of course, as kids, we loved the hell out of it. I knew a lot of kids who weren't allowed to watch it, so a lot of kids would come over to my house to watch it.
Oh yeah, no, I was that, not for the Simpsons. I was that kid in my friend circle. They're like, Tony's parents don't give a shit what he watches. We're going over his house.
That was my house.
Yeah.
Because I went to a religious school and
so did I.
Yeah, me too.
Simpsons started, I think I was in second grade. Yeah. And so a lot of the kids there weren't allowed to watch it. But I was. Like, my parents didn't care. Like, so, and it's so weird thinking back to a time when it was a controversial show.
Right.
Because, like, the school wouldn't let kids wear Simpsons.
Oh, I got yelled at for
like
talking about the Simpsons and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
I had a Bart Simpson wearing a Ninja Turtle shirt, which was like I wore like every day because those are like my two loves at that time on one shirt. It blew me away.
that's why I don't. Huh?
So when I was in high school, I was wearing a Bart Simpson shirt in high school. One of the teachers looks at the assistant principal and goes, "Oh, do we still not like Bart?" And the assistant principal just goes, "Huh? Oh no, Bart's fine now. Just look out for South Park shirts."
That's the thing. Like, I always remember because I went to Catholic school for a long time, and there was a lot of that shit. And that's why I'm like, whenever I see like kids wearing something like really stupid, I'm just like, don't get mad about it, because then in 10 more years, it's going to be a totally fine thing.
I'm still offended by Eminem. Yeah.
Yeah, it is so funny to look back and like think about like how much people hated The Simpsons, and then it's just like, it's whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, remember Britney Spears was super controversial. Now it's like, fight for Britney and stuff. Like, the ethical thing is to fight for her now,
Yeah. I'm team, I just don't care. Like, I haven't looked into it. I don't know what's going on.
I haven't followed any of it. I know like a little bit. I hope nothing bad. I hope the right thing that happened. You know what I mean? I just
don't care.
hope.
They're like, people are like, did you hear about Jamie Lynn Spears? I'm like, I saw her once in person when I worked for CMT for a summer. She seemed nice. And they're like, she did this. I'm like, oh my God, I don't care. I don't follow it.
Do I look like I've heard about Jamie Lynn Spears?
Yeah. So like every generation has that thing where like all the parents are like, this is evil. This is going to rule the world. And
which of course just makes you more legendary, like in the long run.
But it's funny that like parents and stuff haven't caught on. Like, this is a cycle. You think they'd be like, oh, wait a minute, we overreacted to the last few things. Let's just stop overreacting. No.
Yeah.
But The Simpsons. So as a kid, loved The Simpsons. It was on all the time, and I was real into horror stuff. So like the one time of year was the Treehouse of Horror. And it was like my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's everyone's favorite. Yeah,
it is really, really good. I love the first one where Marge even comes out and she's like, it's so scary. And then like I think like a year or two later, she comes out again. She's like, they're not even gonna let us play it because we got so many complaints about the last season. Because like they were allowed to be super violent and stuff because it was a cartoon.
Well, and I remember, I think like the second year, they were saying on the commentary too, just like, yeah, they had to put that warning because there already was controversy around the show. It's an unethical show and everything. So they put it there, and everyone, it was like their highest rated show and most watched show. So she comes out again and says, I'm here to warn you, this is scary. And she's like, well, you didn't listen last time, you're not going to listen now. And they said, yeah, they think just people wanted to complain. They weren't really like concerned. They just wanted to be angry at something, but they weren't going to really like do anything about it.
No. Yeah, I love when The Simpsons would do that. Also on the same network, I just rewatched all of Married with Children, and they did jokes about that all the time with people writing letters and stuff.
Where's that great Itchy and Scratchy episode where Marge is protesting against animated violence? Yeah. That was totally a satire what was going on with them at the time. Yeah.
It's so funny. So yes, I thought it'd be fun to talk about our favorite like Treehouse of Horror, either full episodes or just like segments in an episode. So who wants to go first?
I'll go because we're all going to talk about the same one at some point. So I'll talk about the one. This one is technically like, I think like the best made one, and it's the one where Simpsons kind of did something really different. It's the second one. That's the one where it was the monkey's paw, Bart turning Homer into a Jack-in-the-Box, and then cutting open Homer's head and Mr. Burns' head getting stitched to his. That was the first time there was like real legit gory violence on The Simpsons. And what's so ironic is they had Marge come out in the first episode. First episode wasn't scary, really. It was atmospheric. It was cool. That's not scary, but there's nothing in there that would need a warning. The second one, legit, when I was a little kid, I was like, whoa, holy shit. Like, there's stuff they did in this that really blew me away. But at the same time, there's a lot of great cultural references to the monkey's paws. First time I ever heard that.
I think that was a lot of people's introduction to the monkey paw like story.
The Twilight Zone with the boy turning the father into the Jack-in-the-Box first.
Which is funny, when I eventually watched the Twilight Zone, I'm like, oh, it's like that Simpsons episode.
Yeah, and I knew about Frankenstein. Clearly, they're doing that in the third one. But again, seeing him chop open Homer's head and wear his brains, saying, look at me, I'm Davy Crockett. It really was one of those things where it's like, I have not seen an animated show on, cable do this. Yeah. And it was one of those things where I was
It wasn't
just
even
like,
cable, it was network. Fox.
Yeah, you're right. Wait, it was
Fox.
a network TV. Yeah, even more shocking.
Yeah.
Then, so it was one of those things. But on top of that, it was so well written. It was so funny. And then when you go and discover these stories, you realize how clever these satires are. I love in the Monkey Paw where they wish for selfish things, it doesn't work, but then they wish for like good things like world peace, and it still doesn't work.
Yeah, so what, was it Lisa?
Yeah.
Who wishes for like no weapons?
Yeah, world peace.
Yeah, world peace. So then aliens invade because there's no weapons to stop them.
I wish I saved an A-bomb or two.
And then they wish for the weapons back, and their visual depiction of it is like Mo running away from an alien. They wish for it back. Mo is coming back with a board with a nail in it. The aliens, they can't handle that. They're like, oh,
It's also the first one with the alien laugh. They'll make a board with a nail in it so big it'll destroy them all. Ha 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 ha. And they do that for like a minute.
Yeah, the aliens are like a running thing. They're like in every single one, right?
Yeah, I think every single one, even the first one. And one last thing I'll say about too, in that same one, The Monkey's Paw, there's a good satire of how everywhere Simpsons was.
Yeah.
Because they say, I wish we were rich and famous. It happens and everyone's just sick to death of them. And they were satirizing the fact that they were everywhere at the time. And even they were like, yeah, even we're getting a little sick of it kind of thing. So, I mean, even that's really, really clever.
Do you remember when Bart Simpson hosted an award show?
That I don't remember.
I think it's on.
I remember when he was in a Michael Jackson video.
Yeah, I think it's on one of the DVDs, but it was like a full-grown man in a Bart suit.
Oh, I do remember that. That was fucking weird.
It's weird,
That's
right?
right.
It
I
was
forgot
awkward.
about that.
Yeah. Like, I know it's also weird whenever they talk to like a cartoon. Like, I think there was an Oscars where like Steve Martin's like talking to Mickey Mouse, and it's just like, like the people in the audience are like, this is awkward because he's talking to nothing. But no, they didn't even do the anime thing. They're just like, let's just put a grown man in a suit,
and the mouth didn't move or anything. Yeah, it's just this giant wobbly head.
Everyone uncomfortable.
Some 50-year-old man in there.
Why is Bart gigantic and drunk?
Where's the host of this thing anyway? Where's that kid in Ivory Wayans? Where is he? I'm not supposed to be the host here. He is. Somebody find that guy. Get on with the show.
Any more you wanted to elaborate on one of those stories? Or
I'll wait till you get to the one we're all going to talk
yes.
about. Yeah.
So, Brad.
Is that the shinning that
Yes,
we're all going to
it's the
talk
shin-
about?
We're all going to talk about this shit. Like, all right, so spoiler, right before we film this, we're just like, so we're going to do that. And like, Brad, I think it was Brad says the shitting, and we're like, God damn it.
It was like calling shotgun. Like, you had to like make sure you did it first, because it's the one that's always number one, like when you look at the lists and everything.
But I will say this real quick. I'm like, well, let me pick another one. I went with number 2, and then the more I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, actually, I think that is my favorite one. Shinning, I kind of have a nostalgic connection, but we'll talk about that after this.
Come through and like pick one of the bad ones, like ooh, the one where they parodied Avatar because Halloween.
I didn't even see that one.
Way later.
I guess that year people were being avatars, but I don't even remember the
Well, it did get to a point where I think they ran out of horror movies to do. So like, there's a Transformers one, and like random
by the
ones,
way.
but-
So, just a side tangent. I don't know if you know this, but this show is kind of popular for its side tangents. I went to Disney a few years back. I'm not a Disney guy.
Yeah.
Like, people on the show are Disney people.
Oh, I love Disney. Sorry. But not as much as Lola Bunny. I sacrificed Snow White in a second for Lola Bunny, man.
So I went to Disney, and it was my first time at Disney in like over 10 years, and we went to Avatar World.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, I saw that movie 3 times in theaters, not by choice. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, I don't remember shit. I'm just like, there's a blue lady banging on drums. Like, I don't know, is that Zoe Saldana? I couldn't tell you. Like, I'm just looking, and then like in line for one of the rides, they have like pictures of like all the monsters that were in the movie, and I'm like
I'm the same way.
How is it that like the biggest movie of all time just
Nobody remembers it. Nobody talks about it.
Because it was an event film. It was like specifically for theaters for the 3D and all of
Yeah,
that.
Even people that liked it were like, I like it for the 3D.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just shocked that Disney even went all in on the fucking Avatar world. You think they'd be like, no one fucking remembers the movie. Why would we?
I'll say this, I haven't been there, but I've seen like photos and stuff. The world looks pretty cool.
It looks cool. It looks cool.
Like if I was actually there, I'd be like, holy shit.
And they do a good job at night making everything like glow and everything.
Yeah.
But like just the whole time I'm there, I'm just like, no one remembers this. Like if I went out into the street, as I often do, and I go, tell me everything about Avatar, they're just like,
they run away.
Yeah. Well, one, they run away. Two, they're just like, he's the windbender. And I'm like, no, it's a different one. Different one.
Wrong one.
The other one. And then they're like, oh, yeah, the blue people. And that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that side tangent.
Oh, no, it's good. I do that all the time.
Anyway, continue.
No, I mean, I'm a huge King guy. I love The Shining.
Yeah.
So that one, just from a writing standpoint, looking at how much they, from beginning to end, parody The Shining, just in, 7-10 minutes or something like that. And it hits all the main points of it. And it's very funny at doing that too. And without feeling like you're really missing anything.
It even parodies some criticisms of The Shining, because people who read the book, like I've read the book recently.
Yeah.
You watch that movie, and like in the book, it's like Jack is, he's doing his job and he's noticing weird things. And over the course of like a few weeks, he starts to kind of lose it. In the movie, Jack Nicholson's there for like a day, and he's like, well, I gotta fucking kill my family.
He's like, I love that movie.
Yeah,
but I love that.
But I love, like, in that, it's just like, no TV, no beer. And like right away, Homer wants to murder his family.
It sort of is like the movie in that regard, where, because one of the things I love about the Kubrick film is that it's like, Jack at the beginning, you can tell he's like kind of trying to keep it together. Like he's cracking jokes with his family and everything, but it does seem like something
like, God, he wants a beer. Yeah,
will set this guy off.
Like I said, it's like I never got like the people's criticisms for it. And I got a whole review for The Shining on here. But like when I read the book, I'm like, all right, I get what people are complaining about, because he actually is like a loving father that has this dark side. But in the movie, it's just like I just need any fucking excuse to strangle these two.
Yeah. It works out because
you're a ghost? You're giving me permission? Good, I'm on board.
It works out because it is better than the miniseries, which is more like the book.
You know what? I was gonna say, people don't have time to read the book. I was gonna say, just watch the miniseries. You get the whole thing there.
You do, yeah. And
there's some good moments in that, but it's
the Simpsons parody of it did it better than the miniseries did, and in a small fraction of the time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you were saying like squish it down to 7 minutes. It really reminds me of like a What's Opera Doc, how they got like the essence of a Wagner opera, which are hours long, in like 7 minutes. Like, again, this really did it with The Shining, but it also stayed true to the character. Like, if you know that at that point, because the reason I like it so much, I had a bunch of friends over for Halloween, and we had the whole class over, and we did flashlight tag, ghost stories, all this. A great night, and we all watched the Simpsons Halloween special that night, and we just laughed our asses off. We're like, is this the funniest one? Oh my God. And a lot of us hadn't seen The Shining by that point. So we're just enjoying it on its own.
Yeah.
And it's a good satire of Jack, but it still works as a Homer story, because he would go insane if he doesn't have alcohol on TV.
Yeah.
Him turning, it's like, that's a Homer thing.
And I do love, so like I was, probably like you, I was like a kid who was familiar with The Shining.
Yeah, same.
So I love the whole like no work or no beer or no TV, blah, blah. But like she sees the paper and it's like feeling fine, but then it's written on the wall. I love that fake out.
Well, and that has so many layers to it as well. You think it's going to be that. Feeling fine, that's funny. Then it's written everywhere. That's funny. Him coming in saying, all I need is a title. That's funny. Oh, I think no beer and no TV makes Homer. That's funny. Something. That's funny. Go crazy? Don't mind if I do. And he goes crazy. That's like 10 funny jokes on top of each other. That's amazing. And they all lead perfectly into each other.
And I love that he trips himself down the stairs because he scares himself in the mirror.
And it's just from a writing standpoint, I really respect it, because I had an animated show where it was called Lloyd, and where episodes were parodies of a certain movie. Like one was like Oh Heavenly Dog, one was like Cannibal Holocaust, and it is hard to like kind of condense parody of a full movie into about 7 minutes. It's very easy to overwrite and to feel like, oh, if you take this out, maybe something will be missing. Maybe this won't make sense. So I really respect just the writing on that, and their Halloween parodies in general that are also like the Nightmare on Elm Street one and everything, where you really kind of do get this full story and parody of it in just about 7 minutes.
Yeah. And I love that it has a cameo of like every movie monster in one part, where like Homer doesn't want to leave the freezer because he's just eating, and then like fucking Pinhead and Freddy and all drag him out.
Well, and then even like the little detail of like when Willie's in bed watching his little TV or whatever, there's this giant picture of like a woman that's half-naked with bagpipes, and it's
Dick
like
Halloran had the porn.
So again, watching that having not seen the movie, I'm like, oh, that's funny because, Willie would have that picture. And then when you see the movie, it's like, oh, that's what that's referencing. Like, what a little detail because it's only in there for like a second.
I'm sorry. The porn pictures of The Shining always crack me up.
Oh, it's the reveal, the reveal.
And then the reverse angle where he has another one.
Yeah.
And it's just like, because he's supposed to be this like really nice, like homely kind of guy.
But he's a lonesome homely guy.
And it's just like, wow, he's just got like,
and they are
like tits plastered on the wall. All right.
Very nice artwork too. Like the paint job on it's really good. So it looks like he went for some quality at least. It's a Kubrick movie. He's also a perfectionist.
Yeah, that's also the Treehouse of Horror where Willie dies in each segment.
And that was a great ongoing joke through that.
And
I'm not good at this.
That's also that. I believe that's the one with Time and Punishment, where Homer goes back in time and it's the Sound of Thunder thing. And Willie, like, he shows up in a dimension. Willie's like, I can help you. And then Maggie kills him.
Yeah.
And it's James Earl Jones' voice.
This is indeed a disturbing universe.
That's what we got to mention. James Earl Jones was like a big part of the early ones, especially the first one. And I guess they kind of just, phased that out. He didn't have to
once in a while he came back. There's one episode just ends with him saying, and the kids were saved by, I don't know,
let's say Mo. Oh, James Earl Jones. We're going to hear him until the day we die. I got a conspiracy theory about James Earl Jones.
You think they're like recording his voice so it'll always be everywhere?
Why do you think they brought him back for the new Star Wars shows and that one movie? And why do you think he's the only returning character to that stupid Lion King reboot? All right, so there's technology that exists. I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous episode, but whatever. There's technology that exists, and Roger Ebert actually helped.
I remember that.
Yeah, Roger Ebert, because there was so much recording of Roger Ebert's voice over like decades.
Yeah.
So these people were coming up with this like technology that could like stitch together like different ways you said different words, so you could type and it would be your voice. And I think he used it for his show when he came back for a bit.
Yeah.
So, what other reason would fucking Disney have for him to come back, even though he does not sound like Darth Vader anymore?
No, he doesn't.
And like, why
or
would
Mufasa for that matter?
Why would he be the only one to come back? I'm like, oh, they want as much clean recording of his voice as possible. So we have fucking Darth Vader until the day we fucking die.
And Mufasa for that matter. For
And Mufasa,
whatever
I
the
guess
8th remake or whatever.
And it's just like, I'm like, I guarantee you that's what they're doing. I 100% guarantee
Like
you.
James Earl Jones, can you just say the alphabet? In fact, can you just read the dictionary
They
while
don't
you're
even
here?
say the alphabet. He did it on Sesame Street.
A, B, C.
Now Disney owns The Simpsons, so they have all that recording.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So they have that too.
There you go,
man.
guys. Darth, you're going to hear James Earl Jones forever. James Earl Jones, you will hear new lines from James Earl Jones decades after your great grandkids are dead.
There's worse people's voices to have forever. Imagine having like Gilbert Gottfried's voice forever.
Hey,
I love Gilbert Gottfried, by the way.
I worked with him twice. He is the nicest.
Oh, I love the hell out of him.
I worked with him on a TV show I used to work with where we actually taught him how to fish for the first time.
No, really?
And I used to have, like, I could never release it because, it was owned by someone else, but I had on a hard drive all like the outtakes that would never make it to TV because it was supposed to be on CMT, which is a little bit more family friendly. And he was making so much raunchy fish jokes. And the fucking hard drive just nuked itself last year. I'm like, no! I'm like, I had this footage. I couldn't release it, but I would like show friends and stuff. And I'm like, and I just lost all these great Gilbert Gottfried moments.
All right. Let me think of someone's voice who is more annoying. You could have my voice for the.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
No, I just listen to it on repeat all the time.
Have you seen the documentary, the Gilbert documentary?
No.
It's really good. Yeah,
was
it's
gonna
more
say,
him as like his normal self. It's really, really good.
Yeah, he's like the sweetest guy when you work with him. Because then we worked with him again on AVGN.
Yeah.
And like I like talked to him and his wife, like, hey, do you remember when we did that fish thing? They're like, that was such a fun day. And he's just like really people think
I love your Gilbert Gottfried. Let's hear that again.
Oh no, that was his wife. That was his wife.
Oh, okay.
No,
I like she sounds like that. Like, he sounds like this. She sounds like this.
Well, no, Gilbert Gottfried, he's just like, when he talked, I'm like, all right, Gilbert, we're gonna do this. He's like, okay, all right, yeah. Okay, so I'm here and okay. And then he hit action. He's like, He just like goes from zero.
Gilbert, you in the room?
My muffins are ready.
Oh, fucking Justin.
Oh, the bomb's about to go off.
Justin has a timer.
I had a feeling nobody wanted to do a movie show with us.
Oh, it's off now. No, Justin has a timer because he filmed something previously in here and he said 20 to 30 minutes tops and it did not go. It went longer.
To be fair, I think it was Scott that was. You
Yeah.
probably want as much time with him as possible.
But Justin, the horrible friend he is, didn't bother to turn off the fucking timer, so it interrupted our shoot.
Motherfucker.
Cancel Justin Silver.
It's the clock from Lost now, like some planes are gonna fall out of the
Or
sky.
24, it's always going to be in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
So what were we talking about, Simpsons?
What's your favorite?
I think my favorite is Citizen Kang.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
So this is like
very of its time.
yeah. So I was like a weird kid. Like I remember like that second like Clinton election. I remember like following it because that's all my parents were watching.
Mine too, yeah.
Yeah, so then like watching like I used to watch like all of, like the jokes they would make on Saturday Night Live and like Weekend Update and stuff. That was like my favorite part of that. I don't know why as a kid I was interested in this. Every other kid was horribly bored. But I just thought it was funny. And then like to see the Simpsons actually do it that year where like Kang and Kodos, they kidnap Bob Dole and Bill Clinton and they like go into their bodies and try to run as president.
I love when it's like, oh, thanks for taking care of Dole for me. Oh, what?
But like they don't understand like American politics at all, which is really funny. Like they're holding hands in public. And like, sir, you probably shouldn't be holding hands with the opposing side. He's like, oh, we're just sharing nutrients or whatever. I don't know. That part always stuck out to me, like how like aliens, because you think like aliens taking over the world, they're gonna blow up cities and stuff. It's like, oh no, they just became politicians. Which there was a show a few years back that no one watched, and I mentioned it before. It was called Brain Dead.
Yeah.
With Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I don't know if you guys saw that one. It's pretty much the plot of this.
Okay.
Aliens come to Earth. They're like little ants, and they start removing politicians' brains and controlling them. But the aliens amongst themselves can't agree with how to take over the world, so they run for Democrat or Republican.
That is awesome.
And it was a mini series.
That's funny.
It was a mini series. It came out over the summer. Like Tony Shalhoub was in it.
Yeah.
And no one fucking watched it except for me. But it was really
What's it called
funny.
again?
Brain Dead.
It's called
Dead? Okay.
Brain Dead, I think. I think it's called Brain Dead.
All right.
Not to be confused with the movie and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really, really good. But it reminded me of this because I just love that the aliens are like, yeah, this is how we're going to do it. And then Earth just goes along with it at the end.
Because they don't want to vote for a third party.
Yeah.
They know it's still going to lose.
do? Vote third party.
Go ahead. Throw your vote away.
It just cuts to Ross Perot. He's like, God damn it. But I always really, really, really liked that one just because I liked how it mixed in like real world stuff. And I guess because like, again, I was like a weirdo kid who was following it. Like none of the other kids like were getting any of that stuff. I like that. I also like, I do like Time and Punishment, which we mentioned earlier.
That has maybe my favorite aliens, Joe, with them laughing, ha ha ha, and then they turn into what are their names?
Oh fuck, the dog
and
and
the boy.
the dude who time traveled.
Peabody and Sherman.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What happened, Kodos? Quiet, you. There's so many good returning jokes.
Yeah, so Homer,
that whole episode.
So Homer, I just love how it starts. Like, Dad, your hand's in the toaster, and then he freaks out. He lays down like it's in the toaster again. so somehow Homer makes a time machine. And he gets sent back in time, and then this is my favorite part. He's like, all right, always remember what your father told you on your wedding day. And it's Abe Simpson, like, remember, if you go back in time, don't step on anything. It can cause it. I'm like, wait, that's the advice he got on his wedding day.
And he's like in the tux and everything.
And now, God damn it. Now I'm angry. My sister had a wedding recently, and I wish I could have
Should have told her that.
I should have told her that. I'm like, hey, Nicole, by the way, if you go back in time, don't step anything. Don't worry, I figured out another way to ruin her wedding. She got married on Friday the 13th.
Oh, well.
So when we came out for the wedding party, I just wore my Jason mask.
I'm surprised you were the only one.
Yeah, I know, surprisingly. No one thought it was as funny as I did.
One person's there as Baghead Jason.
It's my favorite one. It's like, yeah, but that's not the popular one, you asshole. My girlfriend a few years ago, she painted me like a giant Jason Voorhees painting, like the hockey mask. But before, she was just like, I kind of knew what she was doing. She was just like, hey, so what's your favorite Jason? Like, what's your favorite Jason look? And just to be a dick, I'm like, oh, well, I only like Demon Worm Jason from part 9 and Baghead Jason. Those are my only 2 favorite. And she's like, you're a fucking dick. Like, what hockey mask do you like? I'm like, no. That's, I got to the 9th movie and I was like, nah, Demon Worm Jason. That's the one for me.
With this hockey mask, just go, not the one in the movie, the one on the cover.
Yeah,
part
specifically
5.
the one
where it's not even the same kind of hockey mask.
The Jason X one.
Oh hell yeah, Uber Jason.
Uber Jason. It was just Uber Jason, not the hockey mask one. We talked about part 5 recently. It's like, why is Lord Humongous on the cover of Jason for Friday 13th part 5? Like, it's just was no one paying attention? But yeah, no, Time and Punishment is like really, really funny because that's kind of because at that point I had not heard of Sound of Thunder, so that's where it kind of like introduced that idea in my head of like, the butterfly effect. That's kind of where I learned about it. I just love at some point he just gets fed up and goes back and just breaks everything.
Yeah, I'll do whatever I want.
And of course, my favorite universe he visits is the one where everything worked out for him, but donuts don't exist.
But then the raining, they start falling from the sky. Oh, it's raining again. When I was a kid, I was always like, oh.
Yeah, I do the same. Like, I feel so bad for him in that moment. He had no idea he found the perfect world to be living in.
But I love he was curious at first, and they're just like, we're going to Patty and Selma's funeral later on today.
I like his reaction to it. He's like, "Don't!" I mean, hey.
Don't! I mean, hey.
And I will say, I guess like my favorite like full episode, it's still kind of the original Treehouse of Horror. Because I got like the DVDs when they were coming out. And I recently just bought like all first of the 10 seasons because Disney Plus, they're doing the thing where they're like, oh, we got to pull that episode. Oh,
well, they have really good commentaries on it. I've heard the commentaries of like all of them. They're really good.
I'm doing that thing now where I'm like, I'm finally done with physical media. And now like they're pulling episodes from stuff. I'm like, no, we got to get... Sorry, public service announcement. If you're under 25, for the love of God, do not watch Seinfeld on Netflix. Just don't watch it. Just don't watch it.
Are they doing something different than that too?
No, I'm just guessing.
They
fucked the aspect ratio. They made it fake widescreen.
Oh, they did that,
which they did with The Simpsons.
Yeah.
So when The Simpsons became all HD and whatnot a few years ago, and they started playing them on FXX, they like cropped it wrong
to where some jokes are missing.
Yeah, the Duff, like the Duff, light Duff. Yeah. But no, it felt weird. Everything was too punched in because people were like, I have this nice widescreen TV. Why are these black bars on the side? It's like, well, because it's 4:3. Like,
isn't it weird? Because when I was growing up, everyone used to say, well, why are there bars on the top and bottom?
I remember that.
Like, now it's reversed. It's so bizarre.
Well, I get it. Widescreen on a 4:3 TV look kind of shitty because it's like, okay, I can't.
Yeah, but you're still seeing like the whole thing.
No,
You're
I
missing,
get it,
like,
but
a
it's
good
on,
chunk of the
sometimes it's
picture.
on like a tiny screen. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But with modern TVs, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so like Seinfeld, just don't watch it. If you're under 25, for the love of God, don't watch it because one of these assholes is gonna watch it.
You know you're wearing a Seinfeld hat, right?
Yeah, you know what? I hate Seinfeld, right? Seinfeld's bad, right? No one should watch it.
Yeah.
No one should, because they did it Always Sunny and stuff. They just started pulling episodes that people complained about.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I bought the first 9 seasons of The Simpsons. I'm like, okay, what episode are they gonna pull next?
They pulled the Lethal Weapon 5 epised.
I know, God.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Again, don't watch Seinfeld on Netflix, please. That's like
They're gonna pull some. If not now, like 5-10 years from now, I assure you they're gonna pull some.
I'm gonna go to like college campuses, like with a sideways hat, and be like, "Hey, what's up, kids? I like to dab. Don't watch Seinfeld." And they're like, walk out. Also, don't watch The Simpsons. Bye, dab, and just like floss out of there.
In a college, they'll already be like, "I'm offended by that show. How dare you wear that hat?"
Like, oh no, I'm too late. But yeah, no. So the original Treehouse of Horror, obviously, it was the first time they did it. Was cool. James Earl Jones is in all 3 segments. They started doing their whole remaking a Twilight Zone thing to serve man.
And space dust.
Yeah, the book with the space. So if you've never seen To Serve Man and the Twilight Zone, it's like aliens come to Earth. And they're very, very peaceful, and they want to work together and take us to their planet or whatever. And they have a book to serve man, and then like at the end you find out it's a cookbook. Like they're just killing man.
So great, so great.
So that's the thing with the Simpsons. They get taken by Kang and Kodos. Was this their first appearance?
Yeah.
And then a third person whose name you can't pronounce.
Yeah.
Because James Earl
Pull out
Jones is
your
like,
tongue.
yeah, I would have to pull out your tongue. And of course, at the very end, it's just like they actually were trying to serve man to be nice, but the Simpsons ruined it.
Yeah, so they throw him back on the planet. But what I love about that is they're very obviously making it look like they're gonna eat him, so they're putting him on the scale, and the heavier ones are like, ooh, excellent. But what I love is you never find out why. Why are they excited that they're putting on weight? Like, it's like, I want to go to that world to see, like, why that's such a cool thing that humans are putting on weight.
And then I really love the haunted house one, which again, I think James Earl Jones was the voice of the house, I believe. But I love it's the most haunted house on earth. It's like literally the basement still has the tombstones underneath, and then there's like a portal to another world, so it's like Poltergeist.
Yeah.
The walls are bleeding blood, and they're just kind of going with it.
I like it kills itself at the end rather than live with it.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
At least it's like, oh, you can't help but feel a little rejected.
But I really love when he just gets on the phone and he's like, you didn't tell me it was built on an Indian burial ground. And then he pauses. He's like, no, you didn't. That's not my recollection. He's like, yeah, they told me 4 or 5 times.
The last one, too, was the first time I ever heard The Raven. That was my introduction to The Raven.
Yes.
And God, what a way to be introduced to it. Then James Earl Jones fucking reading it.
Suddenly, there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door.
And I love the whole, like... I love the whole commentary they do about how like certain horror things don't age really well. I think like Bart's like, yeah, it's kind of like Friday the 13th Part 1. Seems tame by today's comparison.
Well, and I like when, opens the door, is nothing there, and Bart's like, it'd be scarier than nothing. What? Anything! I like getting the
because
kids
that was the mentality of like kids in the 90s.
Yeah,
like, they needed it now,
well, even now, I'm sure. Yeah. There's. I like the kids' commentary.
Luckily, my grandfather would show me like fucking boomer movies, so I had a little bit more tolerance and patience. But if I tried to show like a horror stuff to any other kid, they'd be like, when does fucking killers show up? This is boring. I'm like,
why is it in black and white?
Why is it in black and white? I don't understand. The movie sucks. I'm like, well, I mean, it doesn't suck.
I like your version of kids. Sounds like a 40-year-old guy like this. I've been trucking for hours.
Look, I went to school. We were all heavy smokers very early on. Yeah. Yeah. So, what was the last one? Yeah, The Raven. I in high school, our literature class and whatnot, we had to do The Raven, like, study and whatnot. Since I had the DVD, I just played that thing on a fucking loop for like weeks.
You just had to take out all the does and
Yeah, I had to take out the does and the uhs, the interjections. I at one point I knew most of The Raven, like almost verbatim, like offhand. I could be able to do it. I can't do it anymore.
That's cool though.
Yeah. So I'm just like, thank you, The Simpsons. I got an A on that one. Didn't get an A on many things, but I got an A on that one. But yeah, there was just something really funny about that original Treehouse of Horror, and it was in a treehouse. Like,
I think a lot of people are wondering why it's called Treehouse of Horror. It's like, well, the first one was.
Yeah, and like it was the whole thing where Homer is like listening outside, and he's actually getting more scared of the stories than them.
Well, even the title, I like. It always opens with the Simpsons Halloween. Or was it? Did it say Simpsons Halloween Special, or did it always say the Treehouse of Horror?
I think it always said Treehouse.
I might be wrong. Okay.
Well, that's what also we forgot. The opening to Treehouse of Horror is great.
Yeah, with the cemetery.
There's so many fucking deep references like on the tombstones and whatnot. And then the
police, fish police,
Capital Critters.
Capital Critters.
The one that scared me as a kid was when Mo comes down hung, and then he like opens up his eyes. That actually scared me.
Well, that was the first time because that they got rid of the tombstones because they were just running out of ideas. So that one just opens with amusing tombstones, and it just crumbles, and you see like all these funny visuals and stuff. That was them saying, "Yeah, we're not doing the tombstones."
And
anymore.
I used to love the credits. Because they would always add spooky, and the most famous one was James Hell Brooks instead of James L. Brooks. But yeah, that first one was like really, really nostalgic for me. I really, really like it.
Well, and it was different from what The Simpsons was doing. And even that Raven one, I'm not going to act like, oh, that was hilarious or anything, but it has some real atmosphere, and they were experimenting, and they got kind of cool angles, and they brought in James Earl Jones to give it a little bit of class. So they were trying something different.
The only thing I can think of that's similar is... when South Park did Great Expectations with Malcolm McDowell.
Oh yeah,
did you ever see
Pip
that
episode?
Oh, wait, when does one come out?
Oh, this is like this is 90s, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I must have said because I remember
Pip was still in
Yeah.
it.
So
Yeah.
like it just opens up and Malcolm McDowell's there and he's like, I'm gonna read you Great Expectations. And then it's just the fucking book to Great Expectations, but done through South Park. And like, what was it? Just a prequel to Pip's character? Because Pip is a character in
Pip's
the
Yeah,
origin
that's the main
story.
character.
Malcolm McDowell opens by just going, "Hello, I am a British person."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I do
And the
remember
funny thing is, much like The Raven, it's mostly accurate to the novel until the end,
Yeah.
until the end with the regeneration machine.
What are you talking about? I was totally in the version I read.
I know. I guess I've only seen the Gwyneth Paltrow movie. It wasn't in that version.
Well, you should see the Snyder cut.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Snyder cut. Fucking. I love the people who are like, yeah, it's so much better. It's like, well, yeah, he had 4 hours to tell the story. Like, I imagine.
Of course, this one makes more sense.
Yeah, the one makes a lot more sense. And it's like, well, yeah, you put like an hour of deleted scenes in, like, it's probably going to make I think any movie could probably make a little bit more sense if you have 4 hours to tell it.
I like the ones that make less sense.
Yeah.
With more time.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to think of any more like Treehouse of Horror moments. The last one that stands out to me, besides the Nightmare on Elm Street one with Willie, that one's pretty funny, is the 3D one.
Cool, man.
Oh,
Where
Oh,
Homer,
yeah. CG Homer.
yes. And I wonder if that was like, do you think they were trying to do like a backdoor kind of pilot, trying to like tease the idea of a 3D Simpsons?
I don't think it was that. I don't want to say like it was like uncommon, but it wasn't so common. There were a ton of shows like that, or if there were, they looked really bad and they always failed.
Yeah.
So I think it was just them trying something a little different.
I remember being mad about that one when it first aired. Like going back, 'cause I've seen it many times since, and I do like that one. But when it aired and it ends with Homer going into the real world, I'm sitting there watching, it going like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be great! Homer Simpson, he's in the real world now. People are looking at him." And then end credits, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck?"
What does he do? He goes into a
Ooh, erotic cakes, and he goes
yeah,
in
he's
there.
doing an
Yes,
erotic
that's it.
cake store. I've never heard of an erotic cake store.
Yeah.
You haven't lived in California,
Oh,
LA.
I'm sorry. I've only visited. I'm sorry. Next time I am there, I will go. Man, last time I was there was a ghost town. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went like during COVID for something. I'm just like, so I'm sitting there and I'm just like, wow, this street is usually full of people and it's just
Or just cars, man.
or
Yeah,
just
all over
cars.
the
Like
place.
it was the one time I never had to deal with traffic. I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Because I've been there a couple times and it's always a shit show. But yeah, so that's our Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Do you want me to ask you guys some Simpsons questions?
Yeah, let's see how
Yeah.
we do. Though that one's like what, 2000 something. I don't know how well I'm doing on that.
2004. So I imagine.
Since it's for older episodes, though, we should do really good because
Yeah,
those
that's
are
what
the
I'm
ones
saying.
we've seen.
Yeah, around then is when I stopped watching
Yeah.
those. So it's like I probably know the 90s ones.
I love
pretty well.
looking through like old fucking.
2004.
Oh guys, hey guys, the Pink Panther's coming to DVD. All Pink
Thank
Panther movies.
God, it's about time. There's not enough Pink Panther movies.
Huh. Oh, there's this new show called Deadwood coming out. You think that'll be a hit?
Is it on HBO? You think they say fuck a lot?
Probably. Oh, an advertisement for the shitty Married with Children DVDs.
Oh, yeah.
The new one, you can go to. I went to Best Buy. Every single episode in one package with the theme song restored. That was the problem. Married with Children, they couldn't license Love and Marriage for the DVD release.
Oh,
So it's like some other fucking thing. It's bad.
you know my grandma's house was supposed to be the house for Married with Children, the outside house.
Really?
Yes. And they thought it was like a family show, so it's kind of good it didn't work out. But it snowed, and back then they didn't have like CG or anything, so they're just like, okay, well we have to think of a workaround. Just paint it green, paint the snow on the ground green so it looks like grass. And then somebody walked in it though, so it looked like the grass had footprints, and they're like, this isn't gonna work. Just do the one down the street, and offer them money and stuff. They're just like, sure.
All right, that's right, because it was in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see here.
But the couch that they have, that ugly ass couch, my grandma had that couch, so we always had a theory they saw it and said, there's this hideous piece of shit couch. We should really put it in the show because it was identical.
Real quick, I just want to see, do they have the answers in here? Because I apparently took this quiz as a kid, but I don't know
Yeah.
where the answers are. So
People in the comments, trust me, will let us know if we get them wrong.
Hey, you know what? That's true. Fuck it. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to leave the work up to the fans. How about that?
There you go.
Okay, number 1. Which guys did Homer, Man of 1,000 Faces, Simpsons, never embody in the 1990s?
Wait, did he not embody? Oh, it's the fucking
the
Jetson. Yeah.
He never did that one?
Yeah.
Well, 2004, Tony said B, but I don't know if that's right.
I will say, I don't remember the one on B, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I just don't remember the Jetson one more.
Okay. Oh, wait, what the fuck?
Was that it? Was that the quiz?
Wait, is this not? Oh, this isn't a Simpsons thing? Oh,
We aced that, goddammit.
oh, it's just a pop culture quiz.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought it was all Simpsons. My bad.
Well, we can connect it to Simpsons. Like, what way does Simpsons make a connection to Silence of the Lambs? I can tell you, Mr. Burns in the courtroom.
Whose liver does Hannibal Lecter eat with some fava beans and a nice Chianti?
Census taker.
Yeah.
Census taker. What's the name of the poem Matthew reads at the church service in 4 Weddings and a Funeral? Yeah, sorry about that.
Sucks to be you.
Real big letdown. I really thought it was a Simpsons trivia. My bad.
Let's look at more ads.
I just want to see if there's more ads. Oh, guys, cheaper by the dozen coming to DVD. Thank you.
I'll wait for the sequel.
I'll wait for the Blu-ray.
I'll wait for my version, cheaper by the dozen, with Eddie Deason. My dream project.
All right, that's it from Stephen King. Remember when he used to write?
Oh,
things
yeah.
Everything Wiggly?
Wait, how about this article? Why the world loves Bill Cosby.
You know, we're gonna skip that one.
Is there a Cosby quiz?
You know what?
I bet we'll get them wrong, but I bet they'll be right now.
Oh, fucking Bill Cosby. So like,
How much does he love his wife? Well,
so you know it's funny. So like, you know, being from Philly and stuff, when you go to Temple University, like one of the selling things is like at graduation, Bill Cosby comes and you get to meet Bill Cosby, and they like hype that up for decades. I'm just like,
now they're kind of downplaying
I'm like,
it.
now I don't feel bad about dropping out. And I'm gonna go back and be like, hey, I dropped out specifically for this reason.
Yeah.
Can I get a refund?
Yeah, I was gonna say, get my money back. Can Bill Cosby pay me back?
Now that I know he doesn't even have a doctorate anymore.
Anyway, that was the end of our Halloween season episode. Where can people find you guys?
You can check us out at channelawesome.com or just go to YouTube, type in Nostalgia Critic. You'll find me.
Find our channel at YouTube at Stoned Gremlin Productions, or if you type in the Cinema Snob, I'll come up pretty quick on YouTube.
Yes. And I hear they're good shows. Haven't watched them personally, but I hear they're really good. Almost
You're missing nothing.
I hear they're almost as good as mine. Almost as good as mine.
Doesn't even compare.
I've seen my own show in forever.
I would, but I hate bald people.
Anyway, happy Halloween, everyone.
Yes.
Hi, I did not see you sitting there. I am Jessica, editor of Hack the Movies. You see, I'm here today because this episode went on a little too short. So, we have some other people from the cast, as well as some special guests, to talk about their favorite Treehouse of Horrors. So let's start with me. My favorite episode, and probably the only one I've seen, is Dracula. But it's not Bram Stoker's Dracula, it's Bart Simpson's Dracula. So the whole thing starts up with, someone on the news has got killed by a vampire, clearly, but they thought it was a mummy, so they go and destroy the mummy exhibit at the local museum. Meanwhile, Burns bought a blood bank, and in the news he has blood all over his face. So, if that doesn't say he's a vampire, I don't know what does, but no one suspects a thing, and so the Simpsons are invited to Pennsylvania. I almost said Transylvania, but no, it's Pennsylvania. A very scary state. I should know, I live there. So when they get there, there's Mr. Burns, dressed like Gary Oldman's Dracula, and Smithers is, Renfield. What I love about this whole thing is, he's dressed like that, and they also did the shadow. So behind him, the shadow's just doing yo-yos and, like, string puppets and whatnot. And they're just like, do you notice anything weird about him? And Homer just says, yeah, his haircut is very queer. So when they're at the dinner, they think they're drinking punch, but it's actually blood. So, not just that. Homer says, free blood, and drinks it. But Lisa and Bart go away, and they come across the vampire room. The secret vampire room with neon lights. And they go down there and they discover a book that just says, I am a vampire, written by Mr. Burns. And all of a sudden the vampires come out, and they make their escape. Lisa escapes, but Bart sees the switch that just says happy, super happy fun slide. And he pulls it. He's like, when am I ever going to get this chance again? Pulls it, and he goes straight to the vampires. Gets attacked by Mr. Burns, who just comes in and goes, why, if it isn't a little boy. And he gets bitten, and then Lisa tells her family, like, Mr. Burns is a vampire. But Bart just looks normal, minus 2 marks on his neck. And Homer goes, oh, Lisa, with your silly stories. Vampires are real. Fear kills brain cells. Now let's go back to the building where our beds are. And then when they go back, Bart's there at Lisa's window, and she's about to suck her blood. And then Homer comes in and it's like, what did I tell you about biting your sister? Oh my god, you are a vampire. So then they have to go kill Mr. Burns. And when they get there, Homer's tempted to do the super happy fun slide. He's like, super happy fun slide! And no, I guess I'll do the American dream of killing my boss. I think that was the line. I forget.
Kill my boss? Do I dare live out the American dream?
Homer goes to kill his boss, and he first pierces it through his crotch, and then he's like, whoa, oopsie, pierces his heart, and Mr. Burns dies. But then he comes back to life and tells Homer, you're fired! And he dies. And you think that's the end, but you'd be wrong. When they get home, all of a sudden, I think it's Abe Simpson, he comes out and he's like, I'm a vampire! And his dentures fall out with his vampire teeth. But then it turns out everybody but Lisa is a vampire. And the real head vampire was Marge, because she has to have a life outside of her house at some point. And they're about to attack Lisa, and then it just ends with them saying, Happy Halloween! Lulu, like not the Simpsons, like the Peanuts. And then you have their dog just doing little Peanuts dance. And that's it. I love it, mainly because I know someone who played Dracula. It might have been me. I don't know. But
oh, hi, it's me, Johanna from Hack the Movies. I'm going to talk about my Treehouse of Horror. What was it? Season 4, did I say? Let me actually get the actual thing. Make sure I'm not being a dum-dum. But it's the one with basically Krusty is Chucky. It's the Treehouse of Horror 3, actually. So it's season 4, episode 5. I saw it like ages ago. I specifically remember Homer being in the bathtub and then running out naked and Krusty's chasing him as a little demonic doll or whatever. And then also that same episode, they have a King Kong parody. And my favorite part of that was, because it's Homer, haha, fat jokes. He's climbing the Empire State Building, but he doesn't go to the top. He just falls down and basically goes to sleep. And then somehow him and Marge still end up getting married, and it's really weird. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, and that's it for me, Johanna from Hack the Movies.
Oh, hi. I'm Sean from Movie Dumpster. Maybe you've heard of me. I'm here to talk about Treehouse of Horrors, and specifically the episode where Homer sells his soul for a donut because, of course, the Simpsons, over the years, first they had that obsession with fucking Bart, and then they figured out, oh wait, Homer's the guy, and that's when you start seeing this in the Treehouse of Horrors episodes, and you focus on this donut factor with Homer, and if you're a Simpsons fan or you know anything about Homer, he loves donuts. And there's a lot of like really memorable scenes in this episode. You have Flanders as the devil, and there's a great joke where he's like, "Oh, it's always the one you least expect." You have, which I still quote to this day, and my wife turns to me and says, "What the hell are you talking about?" But Homer, when he gets the donut and he's got that little piece left to try to like fuck over, Flanders devil. And, as Homer does, he has that midnight snack. And he has the forbidden donut. And then I love they have Homer gets sucked into hell with, Flanders got to push him down with the fucking plunger. And he's like tumbling down. And, there's like another famous shot of Homer eating like all the donuts. There's like a fucking conveyor belt just shoving them in his mouth. And he's smiling and he's huge. Like when he's in that, it makes me think of the episode when he's in a moo-moo with the fucking, that duck thing that's hitting the button. And then they have like a trial at the end for Homer's soul. And they, the devil calls in all of the people in the jury. He's got like what's her name? Elizabeth Bathory. She's got like the one with the 40 whacks. What the hell's her name? Anyway, basically they just have a bunch of people that are bad. They have the 76 Flyers team for all you Philadelphia fans.
And the starting line of the 1976 Philadelphia Flyers.
I don't know, it's weird. And then, of course, Homer's soul is saved because Marge, many years ago on their wedding night, which I'm sure was changed at least 8 times on this show by now, that she owns Homer's soul, so Flanders Devil can't have it. But he gets the last laugh. He turns Homer's head into a donut. And I feel like that's an image I've seen a million times on the internet. And maybe it's just because I've seen this episode a lot, but the ending where Homer's like ripping pieces of his head off because he's just so tasty is pretty hilarious to me. And it's just a weird episode. I mean, you have that Dracula one's attached to that one. And I don't remember what else, but you have like the wraparound with like the Rod Sterling show where Bart's kind of doing that whole bit is pretty good. And you just have this classic episode that, as I was watching it, I haven't watched The Simpsons in a hot minute, but it was all coming back to me. As a kid, these things would come on. I'd be the asshole that was done trick-or-treating by 8 o'clock because I had to see the Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors. My brothers are out there getting fucking Kit Kats and full-size races, and I'm watching The Simpsons. And I guess that's why Tony asked me to do this. He's very important.
Oh, hey, didn't notice you there. My name's Kieran, and I'm here to talk about my favorite Treehouse of Horror moment. My favorite episode is the, I forget what it's called, but it's the one about the bus. It's like Terror at 7 foot something or something like that. And it's a riff on the episode of the Twilight Zone, Terror at 30,000 feet, I believe it's called. And it's with William Shatner, and they also, of course, redid it in the movie with John Lithgow. It's one of the funniest, I think. It has a lot of just funny jokes. It's Bart sees a gremlin on the side of the bus that's destroying the bus on the way there. And everybody's like in there, he's trying to tell everybody. Nobody believes him, just the same way as the episode of Twilight Zone goes and everything. But it's got some really great jokes, like Hans Moleman driving a gremlin. He says, Otto, there's a gremlin on the side of the bus. And Otto just runs Hans Moleman off the side of the bus, and then he comes to a slow descent down a hill and everything and taps a tree, but still explodes, which is always one of my favorite kind of Simpsons tropes, is just how everything that shouldn't explode always explodes. My favorite probably joke in it is when it's the scene where in Twilight Zone, he's looking at the window and it's closed and everything. And he opens the window and the gremlin is just in there. But when he opens the window in this one, Bart just sees groundskeeper Willie's face and it's awful and he screams. And he has to, it's like all the teachers are riding the bus and everything. And eventually Bart whips out a road flare. I think they tie him up too, and he's hanging out with Uter. And Uter says he's like, would you like a taste of my Flavenschneisel or whatever it was, like the fucking stick of flavor shit, because he's always eating candy, that guy.
Would you like another lick of my flavor box?
There's also that episode when he's running around because Homer's chasing him with a towel because he's got bosoms, and he says, don't stop chasing me, I'm filled with chocolate. Uter was pretty great. But yeah, all around, really funny one. Honestly, I think every single Treehouse of Horror episode is very memorable in every single time. It's the one everybody always looks forward to, those episodes, but I think that one's my favorite by far. Just makes me laugh every time I watch it.
Before I begin the video, I first want to apologize for not dressing up as Bart or Lisa Simpson for this. I know how much Hack the Movies likes to cosplay in an ill-fitting costume before attempting to prove some sort of a point as they meander on for what feels like an eternity. Thanks for having me on, Tony. The Genesis tub is peak Simpsons Treehouse of Horror spectacle. It takes place in Treehouse 7 and it's sandwiched in between The Thing and I and Citizen Kang. And like all great things, it's inspired by a Twilight episode. This episode focuses on a critically underrated Lisa Simpson as she's working on her science fair project. I think it's pretty common practice for kids to lose their tooth and mix it in with some soda in a petri dish and try to make a civilization. What we didn't do correctly was add a little bit of electricity, a little bit of that Zeus's bolt, which comes in the form of her brother Bart, being his usual dickhead self. The Bartman's balloon antics lead to a shocking discovery as Lisa realizes soon later that that's not mold growing inside of that bowl. That's a full-blown civilization. And this thing grows fast. It goes from Renaissance to Futurama very quickly. This race will come to know Lisa as a god and her brother as the devil himself. They even try to kill him at one point with a stealth attack at night. To be fair, he did nonchalantly try to genocide them. Eventually, one of the genius scientists will create a shrinking ray and balk at the idea of one that would make you larger, pulling Lisa into their community as she has to look up and see her brother take credit for her project. The episode's almost perfection outside of a jarring conclusion where Lisa's just kind of bummed out sitting on the throne. I get what they were trying to do, but it feels like the episode was just cut for time more than a jarring execution. A couple of the big takeaways I enjoyed about this episode: Lisa apparently doesn't have any interest in being a god and she gets bored of it very quickly. When she finds out she's created life, she's like, oh cool, life, but then freaks out when she finds out there's waffles downstairs. I'd say the priorities are out of whack, but actually it speaks to Lisa's character. She's a very loving, kind person, so of course she wouldn't want to rule over people and have them worship her, especially when she knows there's no end scenario where she makes everyone happy. Special shout out to Professor Frank, who cameos, and the guy that lives in the clock tower who's really concerned as to why bad things happen to good people. The last funny takeaway is Lisa's first commandment as God is bring her some new shoes and get some socks to go along with them. Well, there you have it, the Genesis tub. I don't know what to say now. Tony gave me absolutely zero direction going into this. Just gonna leave, since you're not.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.